Hello and welcome to Big Scott 35 Saturday edition, where we talk about the week there was, the week that will be, and we get a little personal with my collection. Talk a little bit more in depth on why and how I do things. Still might not make people understand me because I could be a little bit out there sometimes. Um, but let's start off with last week. Man, Sunday night B Raw 6, great episode. Man, we left a lot on the table to talk about on another episode, which is awesome. Um, just to learn this guy collected, still does cut some collecting, but a little bit more personal. But he is a seller now, but he doesn't come off. I like the sellers that just don't come off as a know-it-all. They want to know what people want, and they try to get them what they need. Like I believe him and Triple Crown are a lot alike. Where, man, that's the part of the community for sellers that's awesome. Like, yeah, you could talk about what's hot or not, but they try to get cards. If you're in the community, find out what you like, and they have your contact. They're going to try. I mean, it's a business for them, but yet, yeah, it's nice to have people in different parts of the country. They'll go, "Hey, Scott, you got this one." And right now, if y'all know I'm looking for those Pete Alonsos, it's getting tough for me now to find them. I'm down to the nitty gritty stuff for that 2019. So it's really nice to have those type of people in your Rolodex, also to ask questions. But man, he just a funny guy. Went where the conversation went, and hopefully I'll have him back some more shows where we can talk about more things in the hobby. But I believe he will be on for a baseball previews. I look forward for that. Uh, so great show. If you haven't seen it, please go and look at it. Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, a thumbs in between. And then, leave a little comment on something that you would love me to ask him or question to him or people you would like for me to have on the show. I'm trying to reach out and I'm hopefully going to have a local owner of a card show that a lot of people like. Hopefully on we just got to get it set up. I don't know if that's going to be live or not, but always trying to get things for the future. Um, I'll talk more about tomorrow night later in the show. Let's see. Next was Wednesday pickups and additions to the PC. Also, just package opens with like some better cards. Showing off some stuff like I'm telling you, like when I show package openings in my hits or some of the better, low numbered or stuffed cards and that, and you're interested in it, just hit me up. And I'll leave my contact information, Instagram, Facebooks, and Hotmail account down below. I need to put that in my about page, I believe, too, as well. So that way we can get in touch and even exchange numbers if we need to. If we need to, I think some people we've talked about that, and we just love to expand my Rolodex. Uh, Next off is Thursday, Nerdy Thursday. Had that. Didn't interrupt it this week. Didn't have any reason to, and it something really needs to hit me hard to do that again. Even though he has done another one on addiction, just to sit there and triple down on something because your wife told you not. It's like to me, it's an excuse for spending a lot of money on cards to your wife. That's what it sounds like to me. And like I said, if you do have an addiction, I hope you're getting help for it. Uh, so, I mean, that uh, like he has reached out to me and wants to talk to me, which is fine. I'm sure there's things that he doesn't like about me either. And I don't even know if I don't like. I don't like throwing around words that have very negative connotation to it, and also just the meaning of that word. When I hear that word, I visual something that's totally not him. in that situation. And it might be just me, but neither here nor there. It's not getting me down for my week. I just thought it was, for me, it's comedy. What you got to do to get clicks is what you got to do. If that's what it takes for you to do and sleep at night, more power to you, brother. Just not me. I just, it's just not me. Now that's all I'm going to spend on that. And I'm smiling. That's not going to take my smile away. It made me smile when I saw it. Let's see. So Thursday talked about figures, Star Wars, just how I do things a little bit, just nerd out a little bit. Talk a little bit about TV. Video, man, have I been gaming some this week on my Switch? So next Thursday I'll have a lot to talk about. Let's see. We'll have, let's see, that's the week. I mean, that went right through. Didn't feel like a quick week, but it was. I've been reading quite a bit. Got an Audible book I listened to, so we'll have a lot to talk about next Thursday. And just want to touch on one thing. My poor brother, uh, JT, Triple Crown 24. That poor fella with the PSA. I've got stuff with him since July that's still sitting in 3, 4, whatever categories he's got them in. He's got each one of them broken down. My goodness, I sent in a one at the beginning of this month, one card. I don't even know if it was the beginning. If you On a Sunday night, we had a discussion in the chat. We had man, pretty much we just had a roundtable discussion with the chat and me, and it convinced me, I'm not going to send in a lot to PSA because of the way they're doing things. I only got a couple of things, so it's probably better for me just to send them in myself. Well, I sent in one card, a Pete Alonso, because it's tough for me. They got $15 right now special for if I want to send in Gary Carter's. And I looked at that. But then that $15 starts going up mighty fast for me once I start sending it to, I gotta pay to send it and get it back from JT, plus the mailing cost and insurance with JT. So that 18, $15, whatever, $15 goes up mighty fast for me. So it's not even, it's hard for me to say that's worth it for me. For me to do that, I have to get down to like $12, I would think, 12, 13 for my low end Carters. I haven't been getting them graded. It hasn't killed me. I'm still here on Earth. It just hasn't changed anything for me for not getting it graded. So it is what it is. But I did send in a Pete Alonso rookie Father's Day card that I needed to get graded, and that I wanted to get graded. I shouldn't say need. It's not a need. It's a wanted to get graded. And I just sent it in, I think, at the $20 thing. And I think when it was all said and done, it was $30, maybe, whatever it was. It just seemed more feasible. And my point is, it's already in Q7. Now, I talked to B-Raw. They could sit there for a month now at this last thing, waiting for a label and be in having plastic put on it. But it says it's checking for errors in paperwork, so it shouldn't be there that long. But it's already there, and I just don't see our stuff moving in JT's group. And I feel bad for him because he's got a deal. These group submitters, if you're lucky enough to have the guys that flies right through, but for whatever reason, our little group is having some issues, and JT's getting the brunt of it from some of the submitters that JT has. If you're sitting there going off on him about what PSA's doing, makes no sense to me, because believe me, you would want to get that stuff back to you as fast as possible. So A, he doesn't have to hear that mess, and B, for return, people, to get that return service from you. I mean, if he had great turnaround, I could look past some of the pricing issue, and it's not even with JT. I want to make it clear: the pricing is not with JT. It's just with all the extra you got to pay for the shippings and all that. That has nothing to do with JT. That's just life. So why pay twice when I could just pay it once? And it's not really helping me all that great. Um, it's just something I was thinking about today and yesterday when I was actually looking at where stuff was and orders and things like that. Because I even forgot I had one of my orders with him when I looked at it. I was like, oh, I forgot I even sent that out to him. Actually, he finally charged me for one I sent to him. That's what it was. So I sent it to him and he's been waiting. I knew he was waiting. But, a lot of times, these groups, especially the smaller ones that I'm in, if they need a few cards, they'll reach out and I'll just send some in just to get graded. Because I always have a box full to be graded. Uh, if I can do it in a pricely manner where it's not going to kill the bank. Because I got some stuff coming up in personal life where cards going to have to take a back seat for a little bit, I think. I got a plus and a minus, but we'll see. I might have to get a vehicle. So I've had the same vehicle for 15 years. So now I got to probably trade her in finally. And yeah, that's going to be a few $100 a month. But my rent's coming down. So we're trying. Uh, so that's enough blabbering about real personal stuff. And let's get into what I want to talk about a little bit. And what I want to talk about is this new product by Panini. It's called Panini. Let me get my cheater. When I say cheater, I'm just talking about a magnifying glass. Capstone Baseball. I don't know if they have this in other product or not. I don't really care. But I still can't. I pulled cards out. I opened up a box. I've opened up a couple of blasters. Didn't really see much difference in what product was in the blaster opposed to the hobby box. The hobby box did come with 2 signatures and 2 memorabilia cards, which I'll show at a future date. But to me, it had all the same inserts. Now, this is a Big Bang, Aaron Judge, Deja Vu, or Mackenzie Gore. Geez. Mackenzie Gore, Kershaw, Bryson Stott, New Age, which I kind of like that. I dig this one, the Summit with Joey Votto. I don't know why my names are leaving me. Another New Age with Ohtani. But I don't think I opened up 2 blasters and a hobby box and did not get a Pete Alonso. Lucas Giolito, there's a little velo, which is a term that velo has started like in my mind like this last year or so. And then when I first heard it, I was like, why do we have to shorten the term velocity to velo? Is beyond me. And I hear it a lot on MLB Network, another New Age site. And then they have this, like, I don't know what they call this one. I kind of see that imprint on there. That's a Ty France, no big name, but man, I don't know what that is. Almost like a prism. I looked to see if it was called prism, but it's not. Panini uses that term a lot. They do have blues. I got a gold as well, and I believe I put that in with the stuff to show. Got another Lucas Giolito velo. Juan Soto crust. This is kind of neat, and it looks well centered. And you're wondering why I'm showing you these. It's just new. I was kind of like, I do have like a blue, one of those blue ones that's kind of got that prism look. Another Judge in that Big Bang. This is just the base Byron Buxton. I didn't see anything numbered. Uh, no numbering, just different colors, and I'm sure the colors probably have a numbering. Um, but and the color is kind of just in the emerald, and like in the just in this part right here, and in the name. Uh, but it had some pretty cool inserts. But my reason why I brought it up, I was talking to the guy at there. If you look at the side, it's bigger than a 35, probably about a 55. And I've been putting them in 55s. And they've been fitting a little loose, but not too bad where they just fly at the top. But I was telling him they don't feel like they feel hollow. They almost the first time I took it, I wanted to push in on it to see if it pushed in, but it doesn't feel solid. It's not doesn't have any heavy. It's very light card. It's one of the lightest cards I've ever felt, even to a 35 opening day. And I think they're less than 35 point. Um, it's just a very light card. I don't know what they're really made out of. They don't feel like that new card feel. If anybody has any information on like that stuff, it's just a very different feeling card, and I don't know what that means. Anything? How that is it cheaper? It's not an expensive product. I just thought it was kind of neat. For Panini to put any effort into it at this point is commemorable. I know some of their quality is sucks, but a lot of that is not. To say it's not their fault, it is their fault. It's their stuff. You have to take ultimate responsibility for it. But it's the same stuff across the board. So we kind of know. Um, I mean, I got opened up. I did my 4 packs last night of update, right? Chrome update. And every one of them had purple. So I guess their Chrome update box has purple in every pack. 4 cards, and the fourth one's purple every time. But look at the centering. If I can get the glare, I mean, look at that. It's just terrible. All of them, every one of them. Now, they pull a Jeremy Pena rookie card. That centering looked pretty good, but the top edge looked like somebody gnawed on it. I do have it in my grading box, and this one just looks totally cockeyed. Not only off centered, but just cockeyed. Diamond cut a little bit. I just, it's very frustrating to get that stuff. You pay good money to get a box, and you get something, you get excited, and it's just it looks like that, and you don't want to even give that to somebody. You don't. I mean, none of those cards strike my fancy. They're just in my pile to share with y'all on a later date. But none of them strike my fancy, and I didn't understand this either. So these have been these diamond ones have been die cut, and all of a sudden they're full size and a little bit different card in the update. Okay, thank you, Tops. Thanks, Tops, for being Tops. So I was just wanting to bring up, when I open up new product, I kind of want to share that with y'all where I can go a little bit more in depth with y'all on Saturday. But that's what I want to talk about. New product, love new product. I thought Panini did a good job with it. Just very weird feeling stuff. It just doesn't feel, definitely doesn't have normal. It doesn't have this feel. This one card feels heavier. So I just want to put my 2 cents in and see if y'all can make change. But anyway, that's all I have for you this week. So for Saturday, just real quick, want to touch on that, get some feedback, and then let's see. So for the week that's coming up, we'll talk about Sunday here in a minute, but we'll Wednesday, we got more pickups, more. I can tell you right now, some of my pickups I'm picking up from one spot, so they'll be all coming in at once. So you might have a good idea. and I have Carlos to thanks for that to get me on into that realm. He told me just use it for a price guide, and then when I started looking at stuff, I was like, "Oh my gosh, look how cheap some of this stuff is." So then it's CompC. If you can't figure it out, uh, I think having that and just that many cards to go against each other, everybody wants to sell their product. So I've been hitting up that pretty good. I got other stuff coming as well, but we'll be showing some stuff off. Uh, always buy always buying from Mike. Mike opens a lot of stuff, and he has the numbers and the variants, and I usually some Mike Trouts that people stay away from, so I jump on them. Pete Alonso's. So I'll be showing those off Wednesday, Nerdy Thursday. I've been nerding out on everything, so we'll probably have a lot to talk about there. But all I gotta say is Sunday night, he's back.